This is how it's done. Hello there, and welcome to the 28th episode of Strategic Zoomcast. You're watching Noggano's Combat Engineers. He's talking in Russian to his fellow comrade to the north, playing as the OKW Brosras. This is for the Russian Heavyweight Championship of the world! Because Noggano is the Russian Heavyweight Champion. He beat Jove in that show match we had just before GCS. And now he's up against a fellow Russian. They don't know this is for the Heavyweight Championship of the world, by the way. This is, of course, just auto match. But it's an interesting auto match because the post-patch, this is the first cast I've done on my own since the patch has been out. And I've been hearing stuff like OKWUP, mostly from 3v3 and 4v4 players. And, of course, you can usually just completely discount their opinions as non-humans. But I'm willing to see what the top OKW player on ladder, Brosras, does as OKW against possibly the pound-for-pound best tournament player overall in the Company Heroes series, Noggano, who's in an interesting medium cover battle. So conscripts have had their accuracy buffed ever so slightly. Also, I must point out, by the way, this is actually live. I'm broadcasting this on Twitch, not as I usually do to file. So I do have live viewers with me today. Thank you for the host off Romeo. So 120 guys watching as Nico tries to swamp out this Folks Grenadiers. We should have an engagement in the west here. I'm expecting Stern Pioneers indeed with the Stern Gavez. Getting the angle on these conscripts. Going to push the retreat in no time at all. Tale of two sides of the map. One Soviet victory and one for the OKW. Putting a nice shoe mine up as well. It's a commonly trafficked area. Kubelwagen doing a Kubelwagen-esque things, which is back-capping the map. And it's a pretty normalised battle so far. Let's check out what commander choices and bulletins we have. Brosras, of course, Spec Ops, most chosen OKW commander of all time in 1v1. Fortifications, an interesting choice. It does sometimes get used in, in circumstances where you need to, use those heavy fortifications. Elite Armoured, which is really commonly chosen, especially in 2v2. And to complement them, he's gone for just infantry-based bulletins, which a lot of top-level players in 1v1 do, because that is just efficiency. The backbone of your army is infantry. Nico, Guard Rifle combined to get those newly buffed KV-1s and Guards. Tank Hunter to get the newly buffed PTRS packages. Engagement to the west, let's check out this. And Armoured Assault Tactics, which is, you could argue not exactly been buffed, but it is a little bit different now with some of the utilities that have changed. His bulletins, by the way, the only one different is a little bit of Maxim increased suppression. Got the Rock 9 Flamethrower on this particular combat engineer. Doing good work. Check out this conscript. Difficult retreat path there. Seems to survive with one model. Made it back to base okay. The Kubelwagen's doing some decent damage. Surprised we haven't had the... well, I'm not surprised we haven't had anti-tank grenades, but sometimes you do see cheeky anti-tank grenade teching a lot more often with conscript play in the most recent build, because, of course, the overall package for Molotovs is a lot cheaper. So, and if it's now pushing people towards more conscript-based play, so inevitably they will get anti-tank grenades at some point in the game. So when you're seeing an early Kubelwagen, for example, sometimes they just think, well, I'll go for AT grenades now. And I have started to see that a little bit more often, early 18 aids. It sounds perverse. By the way, I'm worried that I've missed a conscript die off camera, so I just want to check that out. We haven't had one die. Just seems that we have a little bit... Well, I suppose he's just built tier 2. And he also has the fuel, by the way, to possibly push straight on and get tier 3. I'm a bit intrigued by that. You wouldn't be able to get anything out of it anyway, so there's no point in doing it, especially when you've invested in the flamethrower. You might as well be a bit more combat offensive. Folks Grenadiers weren't able to get the sandbag wall up. Are able to push the retreat there. Folks Grenadiers didn't fancy it. Possibly worried that there's something following up and just thought, stuff it, let's get out of here. Wagen acting in unison with the Stern Pioneer, hunting down this conscript squad. They're going to have to get out of there. And this is what separates the top level play from the others. A lot of it ends up being about very quick retreating, getting out of unfavourable gunfights where you're going to lose anyway. Because then you save your manpower and you win the efficiency and economy battles. And look at that, I mean, he loses without a single... He actually causes some health damage. He loses out without a single model lost, and that is top-level play. It's unmistakably so. And you do really begin to recognise it if you've watched the top-level players play as much as I have done.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Sturm Pioneers. Good amount of damage done here. Don't know why he's stuck in that one. He's just worried about his... he's got the Maxim setting up. He wants to buy himself time. Will he be able to get it off? Oh, it's going to be close. He's going to have to backtrack a little bit. There you go. Cone of fire engaged. Notice the retreating unit doesn't stop the decap. Stern Pioneers are able to carry on and neutralise the cutoff. Elsewhere, seems that we've got this conscript trying to break out of the pinpoint. If you're wondering what the point of Strategic Zoomcast is, it's for more late game battles that it really becomes an asset. That you can zoom out and get some, see more engagements going on. But for now, it's really just good to get like a attack map-esque view of the world and see the blue territories, the disconnected central territories, and just how much Brosras has the west. Look at the amount of vast swathe of blue that there is. MG34 is out. Infiltration grenade. Well, not infiltration grenade, but rather the incendiary grenade pushes away the conscript. Maxim in a decent spot now, and that's been buffed slightly with its suppression. We do have the ever so slowly building Panzer II. 85 seconds of waiting time until that thing hits the field. It's only really pushed it back by a minute though, because most of the time players would get it out around, 6 minutes, 10 seconds kind of thing, 20 seconds. Now they're getting it out 7 minutes. Nice. Maxim. Good amount of damage there to the Kubel and destroys it. I need to remember to lean forward into my mic because I've got a new desk that won't accept the mic stand, so I've now got it on its base, which is really, really unergonomic. Poor AE. Eating another incendiary grenade there. Is Nico a little bit rusty? He's definitely having to rely on Maxim play. He's now built his second one. He really feels like Brosras is more than a match for his micro, it seems. So he's having to rely on MGs. But then again, Brosras also has 2 MG34, so they're cancelling one another out at the moment. Let's have a little check on victory points. You'll notice Brosras has dipped down to 400, which isn't too great for this time in the game. Indicating Nico, or Noggano rather, has had a lot of control of victory points in particular. Just had health packs put down, and now we're having the mechanised building a second Panzer II. The patch has done nothing. It's all Panzer II meta still, seemingly. This is the top-level player in the world for OKW, and he's showing you that if he's up against a worthy adversary on a balanced map, he will go for double Panzer II. I have heard that the flak half-track is in favour at the moment, though. A lot of people... Nice 1880. I told you you'll take it at one point or another. You might as well now that conscripts are in vogue. Definitely seems to be the thing. Support package received. That means we've got the Minesweeper on that Stern Pioneer to check for demos and mines and such. Maybe tripwire flares. Who knows? He can do it all. And he can also repair that Luke's at crazy fast speed if he requires that. I mean, Noggano, you've got to say, he's not exactly hot on the micro in this game. He seems like, he's got a little bit of slack. He could have been capping that fuel point, it has to be said. But then again, he is one of the greatest Company Heroes players of all time. As we go on board with this Panzer II Luke's and allows AE time to drink a little bit of beer. He's going for this second Maxim, it seems, whilst this Panzer II has forced away the conscripts. However, check it out, we've got a ZIS rolling into view.
We are losing supplies to the enemy. We're taking full arms fire. We're under attack.
Good amount of pressure being put down by this MG34, but we've got things behind heavy green cover on the tip of that capping circle. It's almost like a good tripwire flare goes up. They have been mitigated slightly. You can't lay them as fast or as fervently. They have a large cooldown now. Panzer II Luke's coming in against this Vet 2 combat engineer. He doesn't want to lose that. It's got great repair speeds. Needs to get out of there on the favourable side and retreat the hell out of there. Probably going to get picked off a little bit. It seems like Noggano wants to save his fuel to get possibly the mechanised company and the KV-1 heavy tank, which has got a large health pool. Nice work by the ZIS, operating in unison with the conscript, with the AT grenade in tow. Big shots go in. Let's get a bit of fog of war on the go and see what the conscripts can see. Second shot comes in, destroys the Lukes. Great work by Noggano.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Conscripts suffered a bit of health damage there, of course, but they died heroes. Heroes of the Redina. It was a worthy loss, though. Seems like we've had a flip reversal of who's controlling these territories. Brosras thinks he can have it for a while. He's set up within the triangle of sandbags, controlling that fuel point. He also, by the way, has this fuel point over here, so the fact that he's lost a Luke's won't hurt him too badly, it would seem. Roaring into suppression. A tale as old as Company of Heroes time. Nice. Zis barrage forces away the MG34. Oh, loses 3 men and may lose the 4th model. Yes, it does indeed. Luke's has now got a long job of trying to keep the weapon from being taken. But it must be said, we've got 2 support weapons that have very distinct and contrasting roles that should protect the support weapon and confirm the steal as soon as this conscript gets into view.
Ready for orders.
That's Brosras. You can see he's fervent about trying to get this support weapon back. But Nico, in turn, is also thinking he wants to go for it as well. Who's going to get there? Looks like the conscripts might have it. Are they going to lose their lives because of it? They take the weapon. Has he queued up a retreat? He didn't queue up a retreat, but he might get out of there anyway. Oh, he didn't get the weapon. He's just lost a lot of models there. A lot of health. Core 98 rifles on this first grenadiers aren't able to confirm the kills, though. Instead, focus on pushing away the support weapons and re-solidifying the fuel economies of Brosras. We have now got the T-70 on the field. Decided he couldn't wait. Combat engineers pushing out. They won't notice the stream line, of course, because they don't have a sweeper. Seems like Noggano hasn't built much, but he hasn't had that many units, which indicates to me he's lost a lot of men in this game. Let's double check that on the overview page. Indeed he has. He's lost 58, and you can just get a feel for that because he's not replaced his conscript, but he currently doesn't have much manpower, saying that he obviously has just queued up the Su-76, the ZIS on wheels.
Ready for action.
Ah, somebody's called the Popo. Here comes the Puma on the field. Let's check out that booty, though. Oh, yes. What a beautiful, beautiful armoured car the Puma is. It's a fantastic vehicle. Futuristic proportions. And it's a terror of light armour. T-70's going to have to watch out, yo. As is this combat engineer, who's got a hasty retreat on the go. Gonna have to get the hell out of there. T-70 turns around about in turn to try and keep that Luke's at bay, but the Puma's going to be prowling. My voice broke there. Prowling. Oh! I didn't realise that I had Tinder on, but there you go. Don't know what she said, what a mystery about. We'll have to find out later. I didn't know it did that. I think it's because I've got it on Microsoft Edge of all things. That's just weird. Who uses that? Go on, Zis. Might be able to do some heavy damage against that MG34. Maxim doing a lot of suppression, as is the MG34. Suppression wars on the fields of Crossroads.
Ready for duty. Protect the flag.
Anti-tank grenade goes in. Wasn't able to get it off thanks to the pin of the MG34. That's what you get for running right up in an MG's face. SU-76 is going to pursue, though. Will it get the killing blows? It's got one of them. It needs two. Won't be able to get it. Faust goes in through the bushes. Got chat telling me to ask Becky for nudes. It works. I'm never going to take advice from RTS geeks. I mean, I know I'm one, but I pretend not to be, and I'm not thinking we're the best dating advice circle of all time. We have now, by the way, had guards come out, so he has been able to replace somewhat his losses. But Noggano's looking penned back now. He's actually about to slip below Brosras' victory point count for the first time.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Double MG34 combo is able to push away the Maxim. However, it's retreating away just in time. Nice work from the wombo combo of the SU-76 and Zisgun. Polish off, finish off, and extinguish the last light of that light Panzer Division. Panzer II Lux. Nice barrage coming in. But Brosras is sitting strong. He's got on 3 MG34s. I was worried one of them was a stolen Maxim for a second then, but genuinely he has the 100. Oh, main gun destroyed. It needs to reverse away. Puma's coming in. Gets the finishing shot. That was nice. And then pops smoke and gets the hell out of there. That was great to see. Good bit of smoke screen action from the Puma. Making up for losses in the vehicular front there was Brosras. Gonna have the T-70 back into position. Gonna have to do a lot of work to get rid of these MG34s. 132, as we would call it. There's 3 of them, of course. Puma's back in, though. Doesn't care about this seemingly. Just keeps wanting to get these big shots in. Conscripts threaten the AT grenade to force it away. Oh, bad camera work there. Let's get a bit more action on the screen so you can see everything going on at once. AT grenade is queued, should he want it. Marches forwards, decides to take cover. The tight AoE perspective of the Puma can't do anything to the conscripts, to be honest. Rakettenwerfer has shown his hand. He knows that's on the field. And there you go. It's been an interesting first 18 minutes, it must be said. Let's check out some graphs. Obviously, the army value is always in the OKW's players' hands because they start with Stern Pioneers, but you can still see the ebb and flow of battle. Resource floats. There you go. Nico was floating for a significant portion of time. And you can definitely see on points held there that Brosras has been in the commanding position for a while now. We do have the Schwer Panzer headquarters set up backwards. That can protect this victory point, I guess, from that position. We do have a litany of carcasses on the battlefield now, as we've had a few destroyed vehicles.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Nice mines coming up here. He's going to protect that fuel point for once. Try and get some good fuel economy coming in. Does he have the mechanized up yet? No, he does not. Interesting. I thought he was going to be going for those KV-1s for sure. Well, I know they're a little bit expensive, more expensive than you think. They're 140 odd fuel, aren't they? So I suppose I'm going to wait a little bit. The Panzerwehr is going to be on the field very shortly. So Brosras will be fully operation. Once more. What's this coming down? Hurtling from the sky. It is the IL-2. I can hear it flying over that tank-busting menace. Made its first pass, and then the second one is loitering. They're going to sweep round for another view. They need line of sight, though. You can't just allow them to do their work. One of them's been shot down, by the way. That's and the other. There you go. That was short-lived. He knows there's a good scouting for the Schwer, it must be said.
Panzerwehr, ready for action.
God, that commander's angry. Panzerwehr, ready for action. It's very crap voice acting. From not just me, the actual voice acting, I think it's terrible for that particular voice. Look at this. Imperial Dane's getting a stiffy somewhere as it... Oh, it phases! It phased through the Puma! Oh, I actually meant to hit backspace there, not escape. Sorry about that. T-70. Oh, God, he's going to back out of that engagement. Drive, Vasily. Zis is in a good position. Guarding that point. Kappa. Battle of the MGs again, but this time the NG-34 had its work cut out as the Maxim was waiting for it with an open muzzle. Let's have some more beer. I friggin' love beer. It's just such a pleasurable thing. Sturmgewehrs, Car 98's coming to give this conscript something to think about. Nice mine there. Takes out some of those Volksgrenadiers. Panzer IV's starting to get into position in a big way. This gun has been complemented by an apprentice now. We have two of them. Elsewhere, we do have the Raketenwerfer with a really sneakily aggressive cap there, it must be said. Panzer IV reversing across the battlefield. Ain't got time to turn around. Nice! From the T-70s with the Su-76. Sorry, the Zis gun. Field artillery with the barrage. Nice mine goes off. They are right in the face of this Zis gun here. Both of them. One's going to fire through the hedges, attack grounding. The other's going to get a good line of sight. Will it be able to get the shots required? Oh, he misses the attack ground. Couldn't quite get the micro to work there, Noggano. And he has now been punished by this Zis gun escaping. He really needs to time that perfectly. He needs to attack around here. And he needs to get this Zis gun to fire its shot in unison. Puma's gone in for a big shot against that T-70. We've had one decrewed and veterancy lost Zis gun there. Lost 2 stars of veterancy. And he's now destroying the weapon with the Puma. That is devilish play. There you go. Not getting that back.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Seen that Ed Hertz has tuned into the channel. Ed Hertz was a big supporter of GCS, of course. Everyone make him welcome. Panzer IV getting aggressive. Finally had taken enough of this Maxim shit as Brosras wants this fuel and victory point back. I mean, I wonder what Brosras is thinking at this point. He's still not chosen a commander. We still haven't had, by the way, the Mechanized Compania come out for Nico, so he's not put himself into position to get a KV-1 quite yet. I wonder what he's thinking. He doesn't have the battle group headquarters, so no opportunity to get the Königstiger.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action. Supply sector under attack.
T-70's gotten 7 kills so far, not too bad. Puma's not done too badly though, it's got 4 kills. 2 of them are vehicle kills, not bad at all. Really good with this Puma, it must be said. Would have expected it to be slightly higher than Veterancy 2 with the amount of work it's done. If you just look at the top right of your screen, it does certainly look like Nico is in a commanding position, but if you'll notice in the vehicle standpoint, which does take up a lot of pop cap and a lot of resources overall, and Brosras does have the advantage there. Another mine goes off. Volksgrenadier is getting punished and going to have to retreat accordingly. Elsewhere again, taking this point is Brosras, this time with a Volksgrenadier. Again with 2 Zis guns, we have Nico keeping the line, holding it at least, for now. T-70 forces this MG-34 away, meets that 25mm cannon of the upgraded late war Panzer IV variant. It's difficult to say who's going to win this one. It's such a close game on paper. And in reality, I mean, the victory point count's very, very close. It's been nail-biting so far in terms of one player taking the advantage, then the other pushing the other back. So I think it's all about this next layer of tech, in my opinion. I'm starting to believe that a Stuka would be a good idea. As long as he can protect himself against... You know, he needs to think, where's Nico going in terms of late game himself, but a Stuka would certainly be good against 3 Maxims and 2 Ziskuns. I really think on a map like this, he could park it here, he could keep it barraging, and that just seems like a really natural decision for me. And if you wanted something to complement it, a Jagdpanzer would complement it. You know, that's always a good combo. Nice, Ziskun. Shot. Rattles the crew members of that Panzer IV. Similarly, this gun's keeping the Puma at bay. I'm an idiot, by the way. He has gone. I'd only realised he's just now that he's gone for 2 Panzer IVs. Didn't quite realise that at the time. So of course the Jagdpanzer idea is out of the it's not going to happen. But certainly getting a Stuka now would be great. Nico, though, I mean, he's now finally building mechanised. Okay, so he's got that on the field at least. And he's now, of course, going to be getting the KV-1. I wanted to see... It doesn't... I thought it did. 145 fuel, 420 manpower. For a massive pool of health, it's had buffs. And it can just really bullet sponge now and shell sponge. And just get onto the field and just solidify your position. And that, the cannons, of course, is the same one from the T-34, 76mm variant. So it's just able to do a decent amount of damage if it can stick it out against a Panzer IV, but more importantly, allow these Ziskuns to back it up, so it can create a hard front, push up, and allow the Ziskuns to come in behind and keep plugging away and doing the penetration that needs to happen. And there we go. We have got the Stuka coming out. That is going to be punishing, absolutely punishing. And of course, the KV-1 does 420 Blazer. Smokes weed every day. It does indeed cost 420 manpower. Well noted, Wilford. 300 points remaining for Noggano. Brosras is in a commanding position once more in terms of victory points. Puma, by the way, is now climbed to Veterancy 3, giving it better proficiency, maneuverability, etc. I'm not sure of the hard stats, but I'm sure they're great. Going to be huge! Panzer IVs doing good amounts of work. If anyone on YouTube wanted to know what I'm wearing right now, I am indeed wearing a Chewbacca the Wookiee onesie that I got for Christmas off my auntie. Not even that big of a fan of Star Wars. I mean, they're great and all, but, you know, they've lost their legacy over the past 15 years. Panzer IVs pushing in. Oh, look at the spread and damage on that guards unit. That's going to be difficult, costly to replace. Oh, Stuka with the first barrage. Smashes down on the Zis and the Maxim. And with that first shot showing just how useful it is. We do, by the way, have the Su-85 in the build. Not a bad idea. Decide to elect for another Sturmovik run. This was just as failure as the last. Will this plane even survive its second pass? Let's watch it. Do we have to fly back? Surely not. Please don't make us fly back. No! Oh god, the sphere, because it was facing the wrong way, took ages. Oh, it's going to go down for certain now. Maybe one more pass. It's brave crew members. It's getting shot at in the wing. Will it survive its journey on the battlefield? I'm getting dizzy watching this. Surely not. Oh my god, they made it home. That is a miracle, an absolute miracle. Absolute miracle, incredible. And just with a like that, Dreamcast is suddenly worth it. Puma's now climbed to Veterancy 4. Su-85 is out and in force. Some good shots in on the Su-85. From the Su-85 to the Panzer IVs. pushing them both away in unison. However, the Kettenwerfer's got something to say about it. Jumps in the garrison. Meanwhile, we've got the ZIS with a field artillery barrage pushing away that MG34. Finally, by the way, Nico's now capping this point he's not had for so long. Just meaning that Brosras has got so much munitions in the bag, and he's just not been able to spend them on anything. I mean, he could go for maybe special operations. Oh, that was disgusting. Absolutely evaporates that stolen MG34 squad. No, special operation wouldn't be really worth it. I guess, but it has got, you know, the artillery flares I was thinking maybe, so we could spot for the Stukas. That's all I was thinking of it for. Of course, the Command Panther is a great unit, but he doesn't really need it right now. SU-85. Not doing too much there. Could have had its focus sight on, but really doesn't want to be found out by that Rakettenwerfer, which has now been decrewed. T-70 just killing crew members that are running away. Not the most efficient use of time, and the Puma has something to say about it. The Veteran C4 Puma. We have had some action in the west here. Conscripts were trying to branch out to cap and got caught with their pants down by the Sturmgewehrs and the Panzer Mark IV. Lull in activity time. Let AE have a little swig of beer. How wonderful. There we go. Lull in activity has reconvened. Or the fighting has, rather. And artillery flares are being used. God, you got to say, for a guy that doesn't play the game, I do actually know a little bit now and again. Artillery flares, of course, were the natural choice. And there you go. That's what he's gone for. Going to be able to spot for the Stukas, but in all honesty, he's getting 2 Stukas. You're kidding me. He's going to be Stukering all over the place. It's going to be a Stuka party. Nice, and the Fox Grenadiers. They starting to. Well, it's not nice at all. I don't know why I'm saying that. Here we go. The second Stuka. Oh, the devilish barrage. I mean, how's Noggano going to counter this? He isn't quite mobile enough to just rush in there and get rid of them. So they're just going to be able to pepper him now and just keep him at bay. Puma's coming in. It's possible to take out the Su-85. This is really good play from Brosras. He's found the rear armor of the Su-85. Oh, he's lost the veteran Puma, and this is an abandoned Su-85. He has nothing to follow up. Will he try and... Oh, the T-70's there to protect it from a Faust against the abandoned vehicle. He's going to try... No, he's got, of course, Stukas. He's got 2 of them now. Oh, he cuts a silhouette around the Su-85 and isn't able to destroy the retreating combat engineers. That is lucky for Nico. RNG. Eat your heart out. Now we're 33 minutes in. We have to count our blessings, however, for Brosras. He does have a lot of victory points. Let's keep an eye on these Stukas. They are going to be devilish. We have one with 36 seconds left and the other with 83. Keep an eye on that. By the way, the ZIS guns are both Veteran C3. One has 2 kills, the other none, but they've certainly done a lot of health damage to tanks in this game. And that's not even the first time they've acquired Veteran C. We had one at Veteran C2 earlier, so they've more than paid for themselves, multiple with their shots, keeping the tanks out of the centre of the map and giving Noggano a foothold, because he looked out of it for a little while. Well, it's marginally out of it anyway. Here we go, we've got this Stuka's about to fire. Oh, that was a bad one. He knows that Su-85's there. The combat engineers escape again. This Su-85 has been turned into a turret, basically. Guards somehow climbed to Veteran C3. I can't quite pinpoint what has they've done, but they've certainly gotten veterancy.
What are your orders?
It's not been a bad little game, this, 35 minutes in.
Under fire!
Not been a bad little game. It's been a steady game, you would describe it as. Nothing groundbreaking has happened. He says that, but this is ballsy play from Brosras, pushing himself around the rear of the SG-5. He's getting greedy now. He wants to take out this tank destroyer. He was pissed off that he didn't finish it off in the first place. Main gun destroyed on one tank. More bad luck. He needs to get out of there. Does he get the killing blow in? Oh, he might not do. Oh, that is terrible bad luck for Brosras. He threw everything in. Here comes the Stukazafus. And even that doesn't hit anything. This Su-85, oh my god, that is truly horrific. And more action as the T-70 pushes itself in. Now we finally have the KV-1 on the field, and to be honest, you've got to say now, after that horrendous look, Brosras is going to have to get the Command Panther. He's going to have to go for it because he's lost both of his Panzer IVs, and he still has a bit of fuel. He's going to have to wait for 225. Nice barrage there. It destroys one combat engineer. The Vet 3-1 survives. One of the Stukazafus, by the way, already on 20 kills. Not bad at all. KV-1 with a nice entrance to the field, pushing away this MG-34, allowing the conscripts to survive suppression and get the cap off. There you go. He is actually going to build a Jagdpanzer. He cannot wait for the Command Panther. And I think that's a wise decision. He knows just how aggressive Noggano can be. But if this Schwerpanzer headquarters goes down, he'll have no choice. He'll have to cancel. But, right, is it 60% built? Oh, but here comes more backup. He's got the Su-85 on the job as well. He's going to have to cancel. We're in a race against time right now. We've also got the Sturmovix coming down. Sturmovix, rather. Kettenwerf has gone down. Will the Jagdpanzer come out? It's a race against time. It's very, very ballsy there, it must be said. Schwerpanzer goes down, but the Jagdpanzer does make it onto the field. And that was a bit of good luck for Brosras. He needed that to happen. Look at the Sturmovix. They can be jubilant now as they fly over the battlefield. Stukazafus is pissed off. It's angry. Missing its targets, though. Beer time. So Noggano's really starting to branch out now. He's got sandbags set up on this victory point. He's got the central victory point locked down. The eastern victory point is his. I'm struggling to see a way back into this for Brosras. I mean, Jagdpanzer is good, but it needs to be supported. Well, it acts better as a support for tanks, rather. Oh, nice Stukazafus there. Hits that Maxim right on the noggin. Jagdpanzer versus Su-85, the ultimate battle. This is the one we've been waiting for. Company Heroes 2 has been building up to this moment. Nice from the KV-1. Doing good damage against the Jagdpanzer, but the Jagdpanzer is now in its favourable territory, facing frontal armour, using that powerful cannon. Conscripts really just showing how much Noggano is in a commanding position. We're now entering the 40th minute of this game, and I really do not see a way back for Brosras at all. Oh, that T-70 goes down, though, thanks to the Raketenwerfer and the Jagdpanzer, and it's little wins like that that can help him get back into this. You've got to say the ultimate is getting rid of possibly the Su-85, maybe, but even then, I mean, he's got 2 Vet 3 Zis guns backing him up. It's going to be very, very tricky. I mean, one thing in his favour, though, he does, of course, have... He just lost a Raketen, by the way. He's got 3 Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers, all with Sturmgewehrs. And Vet 5 MG34, but... Not bad. We'll have to take 1 Zis back to base to reinforce it. He's able to retrieve his MG34 and Raketenwerfer thanks to those heavily vetted up Volksgrenadiers. And here comes the KV-1. The Kliment Voroshilov is pissed off. The original heavy tank of World War II. Not counting the Shah B, because that was crap. Nice from the Sturmgewehr. Thunders overhead, takes out the support weapons, and the KV-1 is in town, and he's saying, I'm a big, fat motherfucker, and I'm in your base, and there's nothing you can do about it until I decide to leave your base, but it's on my terms, not yours. That's the KV-1 for you. Elsewhere, I mean, this has now allowed Brosras to funnel out of the base this way. What are these planes thundering overhead? And that's not even the height of Noggano's army. He's got all these strategic reserves ready to throw into battle. It's not looking good for Mr. Brosras at all.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
MG34 is probably going to... No, it's been suppressed and pinned. Microphone fell off my desk there. Stukas of Fusis, I mean, one of them's not exactly been great. To be honest, I think the second one was a bad decision. The first one was great. But he was thinking, I'm on easy street right now. Nothing will ever go wrong. I'm in the good times forever. This is my life now. So he decided to build a second Stukas rather than investing in perhaps something to help support those Panzer IVs. Or take out rather that Su-85 that was stricken. If you built a Jagdpanzer at that moment, that would have been a really good choice. But now that's all we can do. We can just review what Brosras could have done better, because it is very difficult to see how we can make a comeback here. Very difficult indeed. And you have to just start saying, this is Noggano's to lose. Completely. Just have a quick check of the overview. I mean, he definitely closed the gap in terms of KD.
Task complete. Target captured. Achieved veterancy level.
There you go, that was a better barrage. Got, well, 2 kills, I guess. First pip of veterancy. Unlocking creeping barrage.
Heavy machine gun team ready for battle.
The Jagdpanzer's needing to get into there. KV-1's possibly going to try and flank now. The Heavy's going on a flanking maneuver. Let's watch that thing in action. Jagdpanzer's reversing away in terror, recoiling, making an impossible shot happen as it curves a shell out of its barrel. KV-1 marauding in, taking out the Stukas, and it's just on the warpath right now. Going straight for base. There's no way back for Brosras. And we got the Sturmgewehr about to fly in and just make this game truly done and dusted. Pinned Volksgrenadiers. Jagdpanzer in a corner. That Stukas was hiding all the way down here. Jagdpanzer was trying to protect him, but this is very much last death throes of the Third Reich material. Hitler's in his bunker. He's making grand sweepy gestures on a map of armies that no longer exist. And the war is lost. Das Krieg ist verboten. GG and surrendered. Thank you for watching, everybody on YouTube. I shall be uploading this for people watching live. And we are going to get into a second replay tonight and watch another one. I'll give the viewers live... yeah, I couldn't think of what was lost. Ami, I knew that was incorrect in German as I said it. What's lost in German? Like, das Krieg ist... Fuck knows. Who knows? The viewers are chastising my terrible German. Oh, Valoran! Oh, fuck my ass with a rusty nail. Of course it is. I'm a terrible human. I will now just end my life. But thank you for watching, everybody. On YouTube, that is. Me and the Twitch boys, we're going to roll on. And I now got to change my...